The iPhone 12 is great. There is no doubt that this is the best iPhone I've ever used. The latest hardware combined with the latest software allows this phone to work flawlessly while texting, browsing social media, and just watching YouTube. This phone also utilizes its amazing performance, doing more intensive tasks such as gaming, 4K HDR recording, and LiDAR scanning. But I ask myself, could there be more? With other phone companies releasing foldable screens, in-display fingerprint readers, smaller notches, and bigger batteries, it really makes me think, wow, why can't iPhones have some of those features? The design of the iPhone 12 is simple and clean, which I really like. It feels nice and dense, and the rectangular sides really do feel nice in the hands. The soft glass back of the phone is a really nice feeling, but that's now covered by a phone case. I love the TIE Fighter-like blue metallic sides, but the sides are really prone to fingerprints. It is what it is. You can't really complain too much about it. I mean, yeah, I like the color. These faults like fingerprints and covering the back of a phone isn't a problem exclusive to Apple, so I can't really complain about that kind of stuff. It's just what happens to a phone. Performance on this phone is insane, almost to a fault actually. 5G has now arrived, which has given me really good speeds and really good signal. However, I've noticed that the battery life when I'm outside really starts to take a hit. I feel like because I'm staying at home all the time, the battery life isn't much of a complaint for me. However, on the days where I do go out, the battery dies pretty quickly, and that kind of sucks. And usually at around maybe 5 p.m. to 6 p.m, the battery's pretty low by then, so I'd probably have to hook it up to a charger, which makes me think, do I really need 5G performance or do I need battery life? I'm not sure which one I would trade off right now, but I hope that both of these things can be good at the same time. The photo quality on this phone is also really good, and other competitors are actually starting to catch up in my opinion. Maxtech made a photo comparison video comparing the iPhone, Samsung, and Google flagships. This might be subjective because I have an iPhone, but I think I picked the iPhone ones the most. More often than not, when I blind picked a photo between the iPhone, Samsung, and Google phones, it was more of a subjective pick about which colors and feeling you like the most. Video, on the other hand, still goes to the iPhone for me. I love the video quality on this iPhone 12 Pro. If I had one complaint about the camera is that the iPhone 12 Pro doesn't have stabilization, whereas the iPhone 12 Pro Max does have the stabilization. But the colors, quality, and overall feel of the footage coming out of this phone is really good, and is in my opinion the top of its class. With great build quality, lightning fast performance, and crisp photos and videos, what do I still want from an iPhone? So let's look at some features on some other phones. Foldable displays are really cool, but I wouldn't want that for my own phone. And I think it's pretty niche, and if anything, it will probably show up on an iPad before it shows up on an iPhone. How about in-display fingerprint readers? Yes, please. Face ID is kind of a pain, especially when you're outside with a mask on, so putting a fingerprint reader on the display on the screen would be really convenient. How about having a smaller notch and maybe possibly hiding a front-facing camera underneath the screen? Yes, of course, that would be so cool. And better battery life. Yeah, just yes, please. So is the iPhone 12 Pro a good buy? Well, it's kind of the only buy if you want the latest and greatest from Apple. And it kind of sucks, kind of doesn't suck too, that there's not that many options from Apple. On one hand, you don't have to waste your time thinking about all the different options you would want on your phone. On the other hand, you don't really have any choice except to get an iPhone. But it's a good thing that the iPhone 12 Pro is running great software with really powerful hardware as well. So should you buy an iPhone 12 Pro? If you're coming from an iPhone 11 or 11 Pro, probably not. It's not really that much different. If you're coming from a 10, you might consider it. If you're coming from anything below, if you can afford it, this should last you quite a long time. I'm going to be using my iPhone 12 Pro for quite a while. So that's it for this review. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.